And the important part for us to understand is, where should we be in this wave up and down? The midpoint. Because you say, well, that side was negative. If you erase it and don't put it into your picture and you only look at the positive side, you're not seeing the whole picture. You need to see both sides to make the picture.
In this presentation, I shall explore the intricate and fundamental concept known as the law of rhythm. Our discussion will address the premise that every phenomenon in our universe oscillates in predictable cycles. From the alternating patterns of day and night to the subtle yet profound oscillations in human emotion and the progression of life events, the rhythm forms the underlying structure of existence. In our journey today, we shall delve into the technical nuances and advanced analyses relevant for experts in the field. The underlying hypothesis is that by comprehending the inherent rhythms, individuals can not only anticipate recurring trends, but also harness these cycles to optimize their mental, physical, and professional outcomes.
Everything has its ups and downs. Everything flows in and out. The swing of the pendulum is manifested in all things in this cosmos.
The law of rhythm says that everything in nature has a pattern. Think about the energy in the universe being like a pendulum.
The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The rhythm of nature is ever present.
In rigorous scientific terms, the law of rhythm is predicated on the observation that every system, regardless of scale, demonstrates periodic fluctuations. These oscillations can be quantified and often exhibit mathematically describable patterns, whether in the form of sine waves in physical systems or cyclic sequences in biological processes. This comprehensive exploration will interlace deep historical perspectives with contemporary scientific findings, thereby presenting an integrative view that spans ancient Hermetic doctrines to cutting-edge research in neuroscience and chronobiology. The narrative ahead is structured to provide a precise and data-driven examination of rhythmic phenomena.
Everything in existence is involved in a dance, swaying, flowing, swinging back and forth.
Just as the seasons change and the tides recede, we too experience the cyclic nature of existence.
Rhythms compensate each other. The rhythm tends to swing between the two poles, from happy to sad, from light to darkness.
Through the repetition of rhythms, we are given the chance to deepen our understanding, expand our perspectives, and cultivate wisdom.
We shall systematically trace the evolution of thought from mysticism and ritualistic traditions to modern empirical investigations. By situating the law of rhythm within both historical and practical contexts, this discourse aims to empower advanced practitioners with the technical insights necessary for harnessing and mastering the cycles inherent in nature. Thus, we commence this journey of discovery, guided by the conviction that an expert-level understanding of rhythmic cycles is paramount for advancing both theoretical knowledge and practical application in the contemporary landscape. At its core, the law of rhythm posits that all phenomena, from the macroscopic cycles observed in natural environments to the microcosmic oscillations in cellular biology, occur in a systematic and periodic fashion. In technical terms, rhythm refers to a recurring sequence that can be modeled mathematically, often exhibiting harmonic properties akin to sine and cosine functions. This principle is not merely a conceptual metaphor, but a quantifiable property that manifests in predictable patterns. For instance, the solar cycle, dictating periods of daylight and darkness, can be modeled with high precision using astronomical data. While circadian rhythms in biological organisms are governed by intricate molecular feedback loops. In the realm of physics, the oscillatory behavior of systems is encapsulated within theories describing wave mechanics and periodic potentials, providing measurable evidence that supports the conceptual framework of rhythm. Such mechanisms are not exclusive to the physical domain. Similar cyclic patterns are evident within economic models that forecast market fluctuations, as well as within the neural oscillations that underpin brain function and cognitive processing. A rigorous, mathematical approach to these phenomena reveals that rhythm is a foundational aspect of dynamic systems analysis. This technical exposition underscores the importance of recognizing rhythm as a fundamental law rather than an incidental occurrence. It is imperative, therefore, that experts scrutinize these cycles through the lens of quantitative analysis, applying advanced mathematical tools and statistical methods to map, predict, and ultimately harness the underlying periodicity. The discussion further elucidates that mastery over such cyclical processes entails not only an appreciation for the inherent order, but also the ability to anticipate, modulate, and strategically align one's internal and external activities with the natural ebb and flow dictated by these rhythms. Such a synthesized viewpoint is crucial for both theoretical advancement and practical applications in fields ranging from chronobiology to economic modeling.
The Hermetic principle of polarity talks about the fact that there are opposites, but they're the same. How can they be opposites and be the same? Well, let's go back to the understanding of an atom. And I talked about the fact that an atom, you can see its action through the ripples in a pond. And it's sort of actually what is called a sine wave. And a sine wave goes up, and a sine wave goes down, and a sine wave goes up, and it goes down. But there's a midpoint. At the midpoint, if you look at the wave going up, we would say that's the positive. But when it goes back down to the midpoint and goes under the midpoint, that's the negative. So we talk about a graph with a line positive above, negative below. But guess what? The same ripple is positive for some part and then negative for the other part. Polarities represent an extension of a continuum. That on one side is one extreme of that continuum and the other side is the other extreme. They came from the same ripple that's going up and down.
The conceptual foundations of the law of rhythm can be traced back to the ancient traditions of Hermeticism, wherein early scholars postulated that the universe adheres to specific cyclical patterns. In these early philosophical systems, the oscillation between opposites, the rise and fall, the ebb and flow, was codified as an essential truth. Hermetic texts speak of the importance of timing and moderation, suggesting that the mastery of cyclic processes is pivotal for achieving balance and enlightenment. This early insight laid the groundwork for later explorations into the nature of rhythm, both in natural phenomena and in the internal states of human consciousness. Mysticism further expanded on these principles by integrating the notion of cyclical progression into ritual and spiritual practice. Esoteric traditions across various cultures developed complex rites and ceremonies that were meticulously aligned with seasonal cycles and lunar phases. The idea was that by synchronizing human action with the natural rhythms of the cosmos, one could achieve a state of harmonious balance. Historical records indicate that ancient mystics employed chants, meditative practices, and ceremonial dances as tools to attune themselves to the periodic forces pervading their surroundings. These practices, though steeped in symbolic language, are increasingly understood in modern times as early manifestations of an intuitive grasp of rhythmic science. In contemporary discourse, scientific inquiry has validated many of these early observations through rigorous experimentation and statistical analysis. Modern research in circadian biology substantiates that nearly every living organism conforms to an intrinsic cycle, with molecular clocks governing everything from sleep patterns to hormonal fluctuations.
And so when we look at the world, we have a tendency to focus on the polarities, good, bad, night, day. All these different polarities that we have generated all represent the same. Day and night is a cycle. You can plot it. It's all the same. Can I separate day from night? No, you can't. They're all the same vibration. But this is important for us to understand because we have a tendency to move to one side of the polarity, move to the other side of the polarity, and this creates a problem in our world, especially when we divide, let's say, politics. or any level of consciousness, we say this side says this and this side says that. They look like opposite sides, but the truth is they're all on the same wavelength. And the important part for us to understand is, where should we be in this wave up and down? The midpoint. Because you say, well, that side was negative. If you erase it and don't put it into your picture and you only look at the positive side, you're not seeing the whole picture. You need to see both sides to make the picture. Life experiences reveal the polarity between good and bad. These are teachings. We learn what is good and what is bad, and we recognize they're all on the same emotional wavelength. This is not a modern concept. This is a concept from thousands of years ago, but makes sense in a world of quantum physics of the energy, the vibration, and the wavelength. So the Hermetic principles, again, were based on some knowledge way back then that we are in our current world finally recognizing. But it brings up an interesting fact. How do they know all this back 5,000 years ago?
Advances in neuroscience have likewise elucidated the role of neural oscillations in regulating cognitive functions, suggesting that rhythm is integral to both perception and behavior. The economic realm has not been exempt from this understanding, with cyclic theories emerging as foundational models for predicting market behavior and financial cycles. Furthermore, detailed empirical studies have demonstrated that the periodicity observed in natural systems can be captured using differential equations and harmonic analysis, reinforcing the idea that rhythm is a quantifiable and controllable phenomenon. By juxtaposing ancient Hermetic insights with state-of-the-art scientific methodologies, it becomes apparent that the law of rhythm constitutes a bridge between intuitive, historical wisdom and precise, technical modeling. This historical context not only enriches our conceptual understanding, but also provides a robust analytical framework for contemporary experts who seek to integrate tradition with innovation. The convergence of mysticism, empirical research, and advanced mathematical modeling thus offers a comprehensive narrative that validates the enduring relevance of rhythmic principles in both theoretical and applied disciplines.
What is the purpose of these rhythms in our lives? Why do we encounter repetitive patterns? The answer lies in learning and growth through experiences. It is within this understanding that we can glimpse the profound implications of the principle of rhythm. We're not separate from the universe's rhythms, rather we are integral parts of the cosmic dance. It presents us with opportunities to learn and evolve, create and destroy, give birth and pass away. Just as the seasons change and the tides recede, we too experience the cyclic nature of existence. Through the repetition of rhythms, we are given the chance to deepen our understanding, expand our perspectives, and cultivate wisdom. By embracing the rhythms of our reality, we open ourselves up to a world of profound insights and transformative journeys. The pendulum swing represents the movement between opposites. It is the dance of polarities that shapes our experiences, influences our understanding of the world. Just as the pendulum swing moves from one extreme to another, so too do our emotions, thoughts, and life experiences. For example, we have joy and sorrow, success and failure, light and darkness. This swing forms the very fabric of our lives. Balance is intrinsic to the rhythm of life. Just as the pendulum finds equilibrium, so too must we seek harmony amidst the oscillations. Rhythm compensates, offering a natural course of correction. It teaches us that accepting and acknowledging our challenges and setbacks is a way to find a place of balance and harmony within ourselves and in our interactions with the world, and that there is always an opportunity for growth and restoration.
In practical terms, an expert-level approach to the law of rhythm necessitates the application of advanced strategies aimed at synchronizing human activity with natural oscillations observed in diverse systems. This integration of theoretical knowledge into practical methodologies is essential for optimizing performance, managing energy levels, and enhancing overall productivity. A systematic examination of physiological, psychological, and economic cycles reveals that aligning one's activities with periods of peak activity can yield significant improvements in efficiency and well-being. The practical application of these principles begins with a rigorous assessment of temporal cycles specific to individual contexts. In the realm of chronobiology, for example, sophisticated monitoring tools can be engaged to chart circadian rhythms, thereby permitting the identification of high-energy windows versus phases of recuperation. Advanced biometrical feedback mechanisms, often deployed in modern clinical settings, provide real-time data that can be harnessed to fine-tune daily routines. Professionals in high-demand fields frequently employ these methodologies to structure work schedules that align with their personal physiological rhythms, thereby enhancing cognitive function and decision-making capabilities. Moreover, the application extends to the management of emotional and psychological states. Emotional rhythms, much like their physiological counterparts, exhibit quantifiable patterns that can be analyzed using psychometric instruments and statistical models. By monitoring fluctuations in mood and stress levels, individuals can employ targeted interventions such as timed breathing exercises and controlled physical movements. Such techniques are designed not only to mitigate the adverse effects of stress, but also to harness periodic surges in emotional intensity for creative and strategic endeavors. Technical strategies, including the use of biofeedback and neuroimaging, have demonstrated that controlled modulation of emotional rhythms can lead to improved mental resilience and cognitive clarity. A further practical dimension involves the strategic planning of personal and professional tasks. Data-driven analysis of productivity cycles has revealed that many individuals exhibit distinct phases where problem-solving ability, creativity, and analytical acumen peak. By synchronizing important tasks with these intervals, one can leverage the inherent momentum of cyclic energy. This predictive alignment is often achieved through a combination of empirical tracking, such as daily journaling, and advanced analytics that parse productivity metrics over extended periods. The resultant insights enable experts to structure their workflows in a manner that minimizes downtime and maximizes output. The principle of riding the natural waves also applies to the management of physical stress. Recent studies have quantitatively demonstrated that scheduled activity breaks, coordinated with natural oscillations in muscle tension and cardiovascular rhythms, can profoundly reduce the incidence of fatigue and musculoskeletal strain. By incorporating precise intervals of rest and focused activity, professionals can maintain a sustained level of performance without succumbing to the detrimental effects of overexertion.
The swings of the pendulum teach us valuable lessons about duality and the interconnectedness of all things. Understanding the principle of rhythm allows us to embrace the ever-changing nature of our reality. By recognizing and embracing this equal measure of swings, we can navigate through the highs and lows of life with greater resilience and understanding. It allows us to maintain equilibrium amidst the ever-changing tides of our experiences with grace and resilience. When we resist the swing of the pendulum, when we cling to one extreme and reject the other, we create imbalance and disharmony within ourselves. But by accepting the swings and understanding their purpose, we find the freedom to move fluidly through life's fluctuations. Applying this concept to our personal moods, mental states, and life experiences empowers us to navigate the swings of life with grace and understanding. We learn to appreciate the lessons embedded within each swing and grow in wisdom and resilience.
Collectively, these practical applications underscore that a deep technical understanding of rhythmic cycles has far-reaching implications. The ability to monitor, predict, and strategically align with these cycles not only enhances individual well-being across multiple dimensions, but also contributes to the optimization of complex systems, whether in biological, cognitive, or economic realms. The rigorous application of these advanced methodologies, anchored in both empirical data and historical precedents, enables experts to navigate the inherent rhythm of life with precision and confidence. In essence, Integrating the law of rhythm into practical frameworks transforms abstract theoretical knowledge into actionable strategies for sustained success and enhanced human performance. To translate theoretical insights into tangible benefits, it is essential to engage in structured experiential exercises that reinforce the practical applications of the law of rhythm. The first exercise, referred to as breath oscillation, involves a deliberate and meticulously timed breathing pattern. In this exercise, one is instructed to inhale deeply for a count of 4, and then exhale slowly for a count of 8. This controlled rhythm of respiration not only aids in stabilizing the autonomic nervous system, but also serves as a precise method for modulating emotional states. Scientific studies using respiratory biofeedback have demonstrated that such oscillatory breathing patterns can enhance heart rate variability, an important marker of cardiovascular and mental health. By focusing on this regulated breathing, practitioners experience a measurable reduction in stress and an improvement in cognitive clarity, thereby aligning physiological functions with the natural oscillatory processes. Complementing the breathing exercise is the practice of cycle tracking, an evaluative technique that involves systematic journaling of one's energy levels, mood variations, and productivity metrics over a period of 30 days. This rigorous approach enables a quantitative analysis of individual cyclic patterns, revealing periods of peak performance and relative decline. Utilizing advanced statistical models, experts can detect trends and correlate these patterns with external variables, such as environmental cues or work-related stressors. The data gathered through this exercise facilitates a comprehensive understanding of personal rhythmic cycles, providing the empirical evidence needed to refine and tailor daily routines. The juxtaposition of breath oscillation and cycle tracking creates a dual framework, whereby immediate physiological regulation is paired with long-term strategic planning. This integrated approach fosters a refined awareness of both the transient and enduring aspects of rhythm. As practitioners meticulously record and analyze each cycle, they are empowered to anticipate and adapt to fluctuating patterns with technical precision. Such exercises are emblematic of the expert-level mindset, blending empirical data with experiential insight to produce actionable knowledge. Ultimately, these practices form the cornerstone of a disciplined regimen that harmonizes one's internal dynamics with the external oscillatory forces that govern our existence. In the midst of this detailed exploration, it is important to acknowledge the communal nature of technical inquiry. I encourage those who find value in the quantitative and rigorous analysis presented herein to actively support this ongoing discourse. Should you appreciate the integration of historical wisdom with advanced scientific methodology, please indicate your endorsement by marking this presentation with a like. By subscribing to this channel, you ensure that you remain aligned with future explorations that blend empirical research, technical modeling, and a profound understanding of cyclical dynamics. Moreover, activating notifications will guarantee that you are promptly informed of each subsequent investigation into the fundamental principles that govern natural and systemic rhythms. Your engagement not only strengthens this community of experts, but also fosters an environment where analytical rigor and methodical exploration are paramount. In conclusion, the detailed examination of the law of rhythm underscores that cyclic patterns are intrinsic to every aspect of our universe, from astronomical phenomena to the minute fluctuations in biological systems. The integration of ancient Hermetic philosophies with modern scientific methodologies reveals that rhythm is not only a fundamental observable reality, but also a quantifiable and actionable phenomenon. By applying advanced tools to analyze oscillatory patterns, one can systematically enhance personal and professional performance through strategic alignment with natural cycles. The exercises presented herein, including breath oscillation and cycle tracking, provide a robust framework for translating abstract theory into practical insights. As we reflect on this synthesis of historical insights and empirical data, it becomes evident that the mastery of rhythmic cycles is essential for achieving balance, optimizing energy, and driving informed decision-making. This comprehensive narrative serves as a testament to the profound impact of rhythmic analysis in multiple domains. Thank you for engaging with this technical exploration, a journey that reiterates the enduring relevance of measurable and predictable natural rhythms.